guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Gwenllian Jackby and I'm a writer. This is Future Gwen because I didn't do an intro for this book review because I thought it would be short enough, the vlog and the book review, to fit into one video. That didn't turn out to be true, so I've made a part 2 for this video. So this is my book review of Capturing the Devil, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so it's been a few days since I've read this book, and the reason being is because, well, I've been really busy, but also I like to give myself a couple of days to think over the book and what I really enjoyed about it and what I didn't enjoy about it. So what I really did enjoy about this book is I did like the romance quite a bit. I really wanted to, I guess I wanted that plot line to finish and have a nice ending, and it did have a nice ending. My main thing though about this book is I pretty much straight away figured out who the murderer was, and it was quite obvious, and for me anyway, it was really obvious. I don't know whether it's because I've read so many mysteries now that I find it easier to find out who the murderer is. I don't know, but it was so easy to figure out, this person's the murderer. The one main thing, now this is a spoiler, is so if you don't want to, this review is probably going to have spoilers in it, so if you don't want spoilers, then click off this book and go read it and come back to my review. So the one thing that really gave it away was when Thomas and Audrey Rose went to go see the guy called Mr. Sagrand, who had lost his daughter. His daughter disappeared for a couple of weeks. No one was taking it seriously because no one in Chicago, in the White City, wanted to believe that there was a murderer on the loose, and they wanted to keep, I guess, the carnival. Well, it was like the fair. They wanted to keep the fair alive, and they didn't want something like murders or people going missing to, I guess, damaged the reputation of the fair, because everyone thought that in Chicago women can live more freely and go to work. They can go to jobs. They don't have to have an escort or anything like that. They don't have to be escorted from one place to another, being accompanied by someone. And it was meant to be a place that everyone could enjoy being in. But women kept on going missing, and when Thomas and Audrey Rose went to go see Mr. Sagrand, and he said that, the guy, Thomas said, he's got grey blue eyes, does he? And the guy said, he has blue eyes that lead women astray or whatever, and can make you trust her. And he kept on saying that, he is the devil. And one thing that gave it away was blue eyes. And when Audrey Rose ended up meeting, and Thomas as well, ended up meeting up with Minnie again, which was the actress who was playing a part in one of Mephistopheles' roles, and her husband had dark blue eyes, and the writer made an easy distinction that, he's got dark blue eyes, but Mr. Sagrand said he had grey blue eyes. No, if I remember correctly, Thomas said he had grey blue eyes. And Mr. Sagrand said, he's got blue eyes. He didn't say that he had grey blue eyes. Thomas assumed that he had it, and his deductions were wrong in that. It was dark blue eyes. And I think that, you should never put words into someone's mouth when you're asking questions. You need to ask questions without trying to answer them for them, because that kind of twists people's way of thinking. So if you say, did the guy have a red car? Well, you can be like, did he? You may say yes. It's like, for instance, if you're going in like a roundup and you got to pick who the murderer is or the thief or whatever, and if that guy's not in that room, your mind is going to instantly go for someone who looks similar to the culprit. And it's just things like that. Like, you shouldn't say, oh, did he have blue eyes? Did he have, no, what you should say, what eye colour did he have? Then I think then they would have easily have figured out the killer straight away when they saw Minnie's husband. Which I guess, I don't know if I liked that or not. I knew who the killer was. And the one thing I was trying to, it was like I don't know if it was, I felt like it was a poor attempt of trying to throw someone off, was when they thought that the person who was the murderer was next door, and it turned out that the person who had closed up, and they found blood outside, a cloth drenched with blood, but they realised it was actually an abortion clinic, and that was meant to like throw them off, and it didn't. And I was like, nah, well, he's not the person. I was like, it's got to be that guy. And I was feeling like, well, if it's Minnie's husband, I feel like it's gonna be kind of a letdown to who it is. I felt like it could have actually, if she could have really done it, like Audrey Rose's father could have easily been the culprit if she put little tiny hints throughout. I felt like the father would have made a better choice, or even if it's someone she doesn't know altogether. I just feel like she gave too much information away all at once too quickly. Now, the only other thing I've got against this book is that most of the book was about Audrey Rose and Thomas's romance, and a small portion of it, I'd say like 20 or 30% of the book, was about the murder. And I'm not keen on that, because I was expecting a murder mystery, and for a very long part of the book, it felt like the characters had forgotten, well, they forgot that there was a murder mystery going on because they were too consumed in their own love affair and their father getting in the way of it. Their father, can't speak now. Thomas's father getting in the way of it. Audrey Rose's family was fine with the marriage proposal and all, but Thomas's father wasn't. And I felt that, I don't know, I felt like it was just too dragged out. I felt like it didn't need to be dragged out so much, or at least there could have been less of it. I felt like I wanted more for the murder mystery. I felt like the third book wasn't as good, and then I thought that, oh well, I'm going to give the fourth book a chance, because maybe it was just one of those in-between books, just kind of like a build up to the end, and I think I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't as big of an ending as I thought it was going to be. So I think in that aspect, I think it failed with me, but not necessarily, I didn't necessarily not enjoy the book. I actually really enjoyed the book, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite read. So I ended up giving it 3-star rating. I was debating whether to give it a 4-star rating, but I felt like the murder mystery really let me down in that aspect, and that was what I was really hoping with this book. I wasn't looking for a huge romance between Thomas and Audrey Rose. I was looking for enough to, I guess, satisfy what I wanted with the relationship in the book, but I was looking more so for an investigation, a murder mystery, and that's why I picked up the first book in the first place, was because Stalking Jack the Ripper was a murder mystery, and it was mainly the murder mystery and a bit of a bubbling romance between the two main characters, which I liked. The second book had a bit more romance in, but I felt like it needed that though in order for the plot line to move forward, but there was still plenty of a murder mystery to keep me satisfied with that part of the book. The third book, wasn't so keen on it. I think I gave it 4 stars in the end. I felt that there was way too much romance, and I don't know whether the love triangle was necessary or unnecessary. I did quite like Mephistopheles, even though he was kind of like a scheming type guy. I still liked him. I don't know, he was kind of an interesting character, but I felt that I liked the romance, but I felt that I don't know, like, we did end up finding the murderer, but they found out there was another murderer on the RMS Etruria, which I quite liked. I was wondering who is it, but I felt the ending of that book was really good, and I really liked it. But I felt that the murder mystery was repeating itself. What I mean by that is I felt that it was it kept like just there was not a huge amount of clues, whether that was for me missing out on clues or whether it was actually there wasn't a lot of clues. And I felt like it was a repeat of, oh, we don't know who the murderer is, oh, we haven't got any new information on the person. I don't know, it was something like that anyway. But then this book came around and I felt like the RMS Etruria is probably better than this one, because at least it was still kind of put like even enough for there to be murder, mystery and romance. So there's a bit more romance in that book than there was of a mystery, but there was still plenty of it to keep me hooked and I want to know more. So I felt in that aspect it was really good. But for this one, it was pretty much like 70% romance, 30% mystery of the murder mystery. And yeah, I wasn't so keen on that because I wanted to read this book for the murder mystery more so than the romance, and I think that was where this book let me down, because it was kind of like a masked romance book, it's meant to be a crime book, but it turned out to be a romance book with a bit of a mystery. So I think it's definitely more of a romance book than the others. But anyway, this is my review on the book. I gave this one 3 stars, like I've said before, and there's nothing else I can really say about this book. So I hope you guys enjoyed my vlog. I hope it's not too long, but if it is, it'll probably be, well, you'll see if it turns out to be 2 parts. So it probably is going to be 2 parts, because I always make too long videos, very long videos, which I don't mean to do, but I end up doing it anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, turn the notification button on if you haven't already, so you'll be notified for when my next vlog or any other video comes out. Leave a comment if you to suggest any types of videos you want me to do, or leave a question, whatever. Feel free, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!